NSDT viewers and We Believe. My name is Jacqueline Rosado and I am from NSDT. Today we're going to be teaching what is composting and why is it important. We're going to start off by talking what is composting. Composting is the natural process of breaking down organic materials like food scraps, leaves, and other plant materials into rich, fertile soil. Now, let's speak about how it works. Now, how does composting work? Let's start off with the process. Organic materials, food waste, yard waste, are broken down by microorganisms. The materials are turned regularly to provide oxygen. The piles heat up and decomposes into dark, crumbly compost after several months. Condition and composting. It's a balance of a green material, nitrogen-rich, and brown material, carbon-rich, moisturized, and air are necessary. As you can see, 31% of our food supply ends up in the landfill. 31% of our food supply will eventually end up in our landfills. There's many other composing reasons why it is very important to us. Now, the benefits of composting, we will go ahead and we will be reducing our landfill waste. Organic waste, when composted, doesn't contribute to the landfill mass. It also improves soil quality. It adds nutrients to the soil, making it richer and better for our growth. Also, decreasing need for chemical fertilizers. We're going to go ahead and move on to what are the benefits of composting. Now, if we speak about benefits on composting, it reduces landfill waste. Now, organic waste, when composted, doesn't contribute to the landfill mass. Also, it improves soil quality, adds nutrient to the soil, making it richer and better for plant growth. Now, it decreases needs for chemical fertilizers. Compost provides essential nutrients naturally, reducing reliance on artificial fertilizer. It also promotes sustainable agriculture, supports a cycle of recycling organic materials into new resources for farming. Now, if we go ahead and we speak about environmental benefits of composting, it also reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Decomposing organic waste in landfill produces methane, an potent greenhouse gas. Composting reduces these emissions. Conserve water. Environmental benefits of composting helps us reduce greenhouse gas emissions, conserve water, and supports biodiversity. If we go ahead and we start speaking about economic benefits of composting. Now, the economic benefits of composting are it reduces waste disposal, it also improves crop yields, and it boosts green jobs. What do I mean by boost green jobs? Composting programs and related industries create local jobs and opportunity for sustainable businesses. How composting benefits us as individuals. Now, if we talk about how is composting beneficial to each individual, let's talk about that. Garden health. Composting enriches garden soil. Let's start off by garden health. Now, composting enriches garden soil, leading to healthier plants, flowers, and vegetables. Improving home landscaping. Compost can be used as mulch, helping garden retain moistures and suppress weeds. Last but not least, waste reduction at home. Reduces the amount of kitchen and yard waste that goes to the landfill. Now, if we go ahead and speak about all the waste that we have, now, if you grab fruits or vegetables and you cut them in half and you leave the back part of it, you can actually go ahead and use that for composting. Any waste materials such as fruits, vegetables, organic things can be used to start composting. Anything that you're going to throw away except meat. Anything that has to do with meat, hot dogs, therefore, do not put in composting because it will ruin it. Now, if we continue to how to start composting at home, we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how to compost at home so you guys can start composting at home. And I promise you will love it. Now, if you look at the screen, it'll show you how to start composting at home. How to start composting at home. Step number 1, choose a location. A compost bin, pile, or tumbler. Now, you can use a bin. You can use a paint bucket, obviously with no paint on it. You can get one at Home Depot, Lowe's, any place like that. You can go ahead and buy those buckets. Now, the second step, collecting materials. Green materials and brown materials, such as fruit scraps, leaves, grass clippings. Step number 3, churn the pile for aeration. Step number 4, keep the pile moist and monitor temperature for decomposition. And last but not least, step number 5, harvest compost when it turns dark and crumbly, usually in 2 to 6 months. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start talking about common composting mistakes to avoid. Now, you want to avoid too much green matter. Excess nitrogen can cause a smelly pile, and we don't want smelly piles around. We know that. Now, too wet or too dry. A balance of moisture is the key. It should be like a wrung out sponge. Also, not churning the pile. Regular turning ensures proper aeration and speeds up decomposition. Composting meat and dairy. This is one thing you do not want to add to your compost. The reason why, these attract pets and it does not break down very well. So now that we are done showing you guys why is composting important and what is composting, we are going to go ahead and we're going to show you a couple of items that will work for composting. Then after that, we're going to do a small DIY so you guys can go ahead and start composting at home. Let's start off by some of the materials that you are going to need. I'm going to show you. As you see, I've displayed a couple of materials that we are able to use to start composting. Now, if you don't have a bin or you don't want to go out and buy a bin because it's too big, you can go and we can use a bucket. Now, you want to start off by putting some leaves in there. You want to use dry leaves as well as fresh leaves. And grass. You can use grass trims. You can use plant trims, and then again, dry leaves. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start piling it up. Normally you want to do this in your backyard, but we're just giving a demonstration on how to start composting. So we go ahead and we add all the leaf materials first. After we add the materials, as you see, we have some eggs. We're going to go ahead and grab the eggs. We're going to crush them up into small pieces as we can. Crush them up. We're going to go ahead and put them in. Add them up. Then we're going to grab some vegetables. Now, vegetables, obviously you cut them up and stuff like that. They weren't cut. These are some that I grabbed out of my refrigerator that we weren't going to use anymore. So we want to go ahead and cut them into pieces. You can, if you like. I prefer putting into pieces instead of just, throwing in the whole thing in there. Why? Because when you start moving around and you do your weekly, move on your composting, it will help give more nutrients all the way around. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start cutting these babies up as you see me cutting them up. The vegetables, we're gonna go ahead, even the seeds and everything, they can go in there. Tomatoes as well. I grabbed these tomatoes because they're no good. Even if you have this on it and it spoils, you can still use it, because if you come think about it, it will happen even when you put it to decompose. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna help the process. We're gonna go ahead and cut these babies in. Uh-oh, somebody's gonna be mad at me because I have the podium kind of dirty. But we're teaching. We'll get it together now. So let's go ahead and keep adding these in. As you see, I'm adding all the vegetables in. Let's keep cutting these into pieces. Put them all in there. Cut these babies up. Now we're gonna go ahead and get some fruits. Well, we do have more vegetables. Mushrooms. Woo! We're gonna go ahead and cut these mushrooms up. We're gonna throw them in there. Now we're gonna grab our fruits, our kiwi. Kiwis are so good. Love them. We're gonna grab all our fruits, stick them in there, put that whole one. Now we have lemons. Lemons and limes are actually good due to the acid in them. So if you're questioning, can I put a lemon and a lime in there? Yes, you can. I also had that question at the beginning, and come to find out that they are actually very good to put in there. So we're gonna add these, then we're gonna add some grapes in there. We don't really have to cut them because they're already, into a little ball. Plant matter. So since we want dry and fresh, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it in there. We have cornbread. We're gonna stick the cornbread in there. We're gonna break it into pieces also, so it can make it easier when we go ahead and we start churning our things, get everything in there. We have corn. Like I said, any vegetables, any fruits, anything like that, we can go ahead and we can add, which it will be good. And then we have, least but our pineapples. Put that in there. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and we are going to start turning it. Once you start turning everything around, you want it to go ahead and just let it sit there. Every day as you go, you want to grab every scrap of fruits, vegetables, eggs, anything like that, and you're going to start adding them. Instead of the trash, you're going to add them inside your bucket, and you're going to start composting. Now remember, once you start composting and you have soil, you're going to go ahead and use that soil for your plants, which is going to be way better. You're not going to use no fertilizer. You're not going to use any of those things. And I promise your plants will grow way more faster, way more prettier, and you will get more out of it. If you want more information, just follow us on We Believe YouTube channel and NSDT. Please go follow our Instagram at New Development, and also our Instagram and We Believe. We will see you next time with another information and another DIY for you to do at home. Thank you and see you later. Please go ahead and go to Natural Resources Conservation Services.